Anyway, happy Independence, everyone.
Happy Independence Day. In the spirit of talking Independence Day, we're going to talk about
You came up with this one.
I,
We just had a week.
in the spirit of talking about Independence Day,
Yeah.
times when you feel like declaring independence from your spouse, your children, and your job. Welcome to this week's episode of Teaching Keating. Was it too aggressive of a
No, it was a good
clap?
clap. It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy 4th of July, babe.
Happy 4th of July
Happy
week, everybody.
Independence.
I'll tell you what, this is a top 3 favorite holiday for me.
You do like this holiday a lot.
Who doesn't like the 4th of July?
My brother loves this holiday.
You know who doesn't like the 4th of July? The British. Suck
Probably
it,
not.
redcoats.
Probably not up there. It's probably not their favorite.
Yeah.
My brother always says that. He was like, "Oh, we kicked him out. I want him out." He loves the 4th of July so much. He tried to have his wedding on the 4th of July. It didn't work out scheduling wise because my sister and brother got married a week apart because
That would have been a terrible idea.
they like to do things at the same time.
He loves the 4th of July so much.
He does.
Sharing
love the 4th
Independence
of July.
Day with
Yeah.
his anniversary would have been a terrible idea.
Well, I know that people have done it in the past, and I don't mind. I'm like, yeah, sure, people are off. It's a good day. But he tried to get it as close to the 4th of July as possible. He wore patriotic socks for his wedding, much to his wife's displeasure.
Do you want to know the best holiday to get married on? Best
New
holiday
Year's.
to get New Year's, hands down.
Yeah.
New Year's
We've been
Eve
to a New
wedding
Year's
reception. Awesome.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Yeah.
a really fun one.
Yeah, young couples out there,
Yeah.
get married on New Year's Eve, please. Like
If
it will make sure everyone will stay.
Sure.
They'll stay up until midnight.
Yeah.
They'll dance a ton.
Yeah.
And for those of us who are OGs, like we're looking for things to do on New Year's Eve anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
invite us to your wedding.
I mean, if you're getting married and you're so inclined,
I miss going to
and you
weddings.
don't care about getting married in January.
None
or
of our friends are
December.
wedding age anymore.
No, I know we're really old. Now we're on the second.
I know. And if
We're on
they
the
are,
second
it's
half.
second wedding.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just not. It's not like the oomph. It's not the chutzpah of the first marriage. Sorry, it just doesn't. You know.
I know.
It's the first. Everyone's so
I know.
hopeful and excited, and it's anyway. So now it's like your players, though. You
I
know,
know.
or other coaches,
Yes, now
or
the
like
kids I'm
people
coaching
that
are
you
getting
have
married.
coached, or old players. Yeah,
Okay.
all of that.
In the-
Anyway,
in
happy
this-
happy Independence, everyone.
Happy Independence Day. In the spirit of talking Independence
Okay.
Day, we're going to
You
talk about
came up
those.
with this one.
I-
We just had a week.
in the spirit of talking about
Okay.
Independence Day,
Yeah.
times when you feel like declaring independence from your spouse, your children, and your job.
I feel like you have a lot to say about this. I always feel like this during summers anyway because there's so much commotion. The children are in the house. We have 2 dogs. I was getting upset this morning because our puppy has chewed, like we redid the house a few years ago, and has chewed like all of the molding and like the side, like because it's wood, and he's
Yeah, he's pretty
literally
awesome.
chewing up everything. And I'm
Yeah.
just like watching all the money.
He's
So
he's
I would
super
like
cool.
to declare independence from him.
Yeah.
I need some space from that dog.
From our
He's driving
120-pound Saint
Oh,
Berdoodle.
he's driving
But he's
me
so cute.
insane right now. Not cute enough to like. I don't know how much we're gonna pay to redo all the molding. Anyway,
know.
I'm over him right now. Anyway,
okay.
that's where I'm declaring independence. What about you?
You really killed me. You really killed me with the lead here because you're
Sorry.
like, you came up with this idea.
I
Like,
wasn't trying to kill it. I was just saying it's been a week and you have a lot to say around this. So please.
okay.
Yeah,
Should
and
we
I'm
start?
like even independence looking. I didn't even mean to do this,
know,
but
way to
my
go.
shirt
I
kind of looks
sh-
like a firecracker.
Dude,
maybe?
I should have worn
I don't
some
know.
red,
And
white,
my
and
nails
blue.
are red. It's
Missed
okay.
opportunity.
Yay.
Let's start with job.
'Kay.
Let's start with job.
Sure.
Let's start with lowest
Yes.
gradient first.
Yeah.
And let's keep in mind like this is lighthearted.
Yes.
I don't want to declare independence from my children. I don't want to declare independence from my wife
Or really from your job.
or from my job.
But everybody has moments. It's
But-
okay.
But
we
there are
we
times
can talk about it. Yeah.
when it's like, okay, let's start with job first. Like,
Okay.
what are the critical things that, like in the past,
Sure.
would make you want to declare independence from your job?
Oh, I mean, all the oldies but goodies. Poor leadership.
That's my toxic boss.
Yeah.
Number one.
Just any toxic cultural, any environment that's toxic, like the culture of, in this case, education, the culture of a school, the culture of the leadership. If it's toxic, like, get me out of there.
People don't quit jobs; they quit bosses.
Hell yeah.
Somebody told me that one time,
All day,
and I was just
every
like,
day.
"That's 100% true."
100% true.
Every job
Yeah.
I've ever left,
Yes.
I have not left the job.
Yeah.
I've left my boss.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And I feel bad because it's tough to be in leadership. You have been in leadership positions in school. I've been in varying leadership roles, not necessarily in schools, but so I understand. I understand that it's thankless and it's not ideal. It's a tough place to be in. However, I've seen it done really beautifully and really poorly. Unfortunately, probably more poor leadership than positive leadership. And when it goes well, everyone's on board. And that's not to say that everything is perfect, because you're never going to have a perfect boss. You're never going to have a perfect leader. There's always going to be things that you're going to hate, or they're not going to do well, or whatever, because they're human beings. That's fine. But education is tough enough as it is. There's so many crappy parts that it's like, you can't also have a crappy leadership. It's bad.
The jobs that you've quit.
Yes.
How did it feel right before you quit?
Oh,
And this is a leading question.
Yes.
Because I don't I've only quit. I've only
Good question.
resigned from 2 jobs.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, like, it was resigning from 2 toxic
Sure.
bosses.
Yeah.
And the feeling I felt the week before when I had decided,
Yeah.
holy shit,
The
it's
relief?
the best feeling
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
Because the power dynamic shifts.
Sure.
Because all of a sudden, like, you work for this toxic boss, you feel helpless,
Sure.
helpless. And then you decide to make the decision. And then a week before, it's just like, oh,
Sure.
I feel so powerful in this
Yeah.
moment, because I'm about to tell this person that I
Yes.
despise
Sure.
to get bent.
Right.
I'm not working for you anymore.
It's
And
tricky
that's
to.
that's not how I quit. For the record.
No. I was going to say, you always quit very well and respectfully.
I told one guy, because I resigned before I went out on my own and started my
Yes.
business.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of.
I told him
Yeah.
flat out. I was like, hey, this is my dream job.
Yeah.
I get to work with brilliant people.
Sure.
I can't work for you.
Yeah.
God,
Good.
God, it felt so good.
Okay, that's great, and that can be honest in those moments.
Yeah.
I think for me, I haven't quit for all the same reasons. Like, part of it was just like, I got to transition out because you were doing what you needed to do, and I
Yeah.
needed to be home. So, like, a couple of them weren't actual, like, I'm done with this. A couple of them were just like, it's just not a fit for our lives right now, and I can't be here. It's just not functional. But had nothing to do with the environment. So I've probably quit more than you have, but not because the job was poor, I wanted out of there. It was more like,
Life changed.
Life changed.
Life changed.
Life happened. So there have been more of those. I'm trying to think, like, truly resigned. So when I left Puck, that one was really, it was anxiety ridden, but the whole year was so anxiety ridden. There was a lot happening. So when I left there,
Puck was the middle school you worked at in East LA.
Sorry, Puck is the district of charter schools in
We don't need
Los
to get into
Angeles
the weeds.
Unified, whatever.
You quit a
Not
middle
my
school in
favorite
East LA,
job.
yeah.
And so when I got out of that one, I was
Better than the one
so-
teacher who just stopped showing up
Yeah.
and then went back to cutting the heads off chickens in
Totally.
a slaughterhouse.
That happened we
Yeah.
talked about that. That
Yeah.
happened that same year. So it was a shit story of a year to begin with. My classes were crazy. We were expecting there was so much going on. So when I left that job and told my boss, I was like, okay, we're moving back to Colorado. I'm out of here. That one felt like the anxiety and elation of all of the stress of that whole year that I was letting go of felt glorious.
Yeah.
I literally, we ended the year. I could not wait to get in the car and move back to Colorado. It just couldn't happen soon enough.
Right.
That one was really good. The other one, when we, the second time when I was working full time, when we had the kids and then had Shar and then I needed to transition that one was like less anxiety and more just like, this is not a fit and
Right.
you're not going to make it a fit for me. So let's just call it a day. And that one felt not good, but I was so at peace because there was no way I was going back to that job in the sort of environment and current culture that it was. And we had a lot of conversations in my leadership about what that was going to look like, how we were going to make it work when the baby came. And then all of that went out the door and they were like, we're going to do what we want to do. And I was like, well, then I won't be here. See you later. And it was a very peaceful, there was not a lot of animosity. I mean, I don't know how they felt on their end. Maybe they had a lot of animosity. I had zero animosity. I was just like, this is not a fit. There's no way. I just had a baby.
Yeah.
Sorry. Bye. And that one felt pretty good too.
Okay.
Not because it felt good. that one was very liberating.
Yeah.
I'll say, because I had so much
The
peace
week
about it.
the week before you
Yes.
resign always feels way better than the week after you resign.
I mean, we both got other jobs, and
Yeah.
it worked out
It
fine,
worked out.
and no stress.
It worked
but
out.
those were both pretty independent
All right.
times.
Ready for
Good.
the hard ones?
Yeah, let's go.
Times you want to declare independence
Yes.
from the children.
Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Good
Sorry.
job.
Thanks. Sorry. I tried to go away from the mic. I'm sorry. My allergies are kicking right now.
Yeah.
I didn't take a Claritin this morning. Sorry. Keep going.
Times you want to declare independence from the children.
This is a tricky one. Why am I answering first? You go ahead. When do you want to declare independence from the children?
When they go on a run of entitlement and lack of appreciation.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I said it as I was thinking about it, and then I was like, oh, I want to declare independence the second we got home. Like this week, I was like, oh, I'm over you.
Just so you know, this just worked out so well, and I have to do this here in a second.
Okay.
I just got a text from our daughter.
Oh, okay. What she needs?
She has spring show tonight. I literally just got a text right before we started recording. And the text says,
I put my phone over there, so I don't have
Dad,
it.
Jenny's picking me up to go to the show. She's running us by King Supers. And then it says, I need money.
Yeah. I mean, those are the majority of the texts that we get.
I have not responded. I have not added money to her green light card. But it was perfect timing.
Declaring independence.
I am gonna declare electronic independence from you right now by not responding.
Yeah.
Shit like that drives me
Yeah.
nuts.
I
And
think
our kids are pretty good.
They're really good.
They're really good.
They are.
They're really appreciative.
Sure.
They have a lot of
For the most
gratitude.
part.
But every once in a while
Yeah.
they'll settle into a moment
They
where
get
I'll
a little
just
uppity.
Everett will do it too.
Yep.
Where just so you know, Everett will never text us unless
Unless he needs something.
he needs something.
Yeah. It's only when he needs something.
Yes.
Otherwise, he's like, I'm good. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm safe. I'm fine.
He'll
I
call
don't
me
know
when
why.
I'm on the road sometimes, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, my son's calling
Yeah,
me.
no.
And I'll answer the
He
phone,
needs money.
and I'll realize,
Yeah.
oh, he needs something.
Only
Yeah.
money.
Dad, I need new receiver's gloves. Mine
Yes.
aren't sticky anymore.
Can I order some right now?
I love you.
Yeah.
I miss you. Great to talk to you.
Bye. Great. Part of
Okay,
it is
that's
the
mine.
age that they're at. Okay. I was thinking I would when they were younger and you were on the road, or you
Yeah.
first started contracting, that was a little trickier, like bedtime. There were a few nights that I was like, oh, I gotta get out of here. Truly, anyone who is the parent of young children understands what I'm talking about immediately.
Not dads. We
Yeah.
love bedtime.
Oh yeah, you do.
Because it's playtime.
Let's rile them up right
Get 'em
before
all
they
riled
go.
up.
No, so those moments when you were gone and day 6 or something, 4, I don't know, and I had done bedtime and they weren't going to bed, or Shar was getting out for the 5th time. I was just, those are the moments I'm out of here. I wanted to declare independence and run away. And it hasn't been like that for a while. Then we have great stretches, and now we're in the teen years where I would like to declare independence from their attitude and their sass a lot of times. I would like to declare independence from them and their phones. We need to, divorce that relationship, because they're just, you can tell, they ebb and flow. When they're not on them a lot, they tend to be nicer. When they're on them a lot, they tend to be real snippy and snarky with us, as all kids are.
Yeah.
Right? Too much screen time, too much electronics,
Yeah.
just too much sensory, just too much. So whenever they try to get real cheeky when it comes to that kind of stuff, then I'm like, yeah, check yourself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to yoga and take a time out. I need some time from you, away from you.
All right.
And thank God they're at the age where I can. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to yoga for an hour. Get out of here.
Yeah. All right. Hardest one.
Handle your stuff. When do I want to declare independence from you?
Or maybe
you go
easiest.
first.
Maybe easiest.
I don't know if it is the easiest. You go. Okay, you go ahead. Start. It's okay.
Not feeling hurt.
Yeah.
Not feeling hurt.
Yeah.
My least favorite thing
Yes.
is when I tell Molly, here's what I'm mad about.
Yeah.
And then she tells me,
You're not really mad.
you're not
about
really
that.
mad about that. You're mad about this. It makes me an insane person. Because I'm like,
I'm not laughing at you. But I'm just saying wives out there probably
it
are
makes me
can
insane.
resonate. Yeah.
I'm literally looking you
No,
in the
I'm
face.
telling you what I'm
and
mad
I'm
about.
saying, I'm mad about this singular
Yeah.
thing. And you tell me, you're not mad about that. You're mad about this. No,
Yeah.
you're just telling me what you're mad about.
No,
I-
it's not usually what I'm mad about, but I do sort of lump in what has led up to whatever your frustration is in the moment.
It is the
So.
biggest spousal gaslight in history. Because it makes me feel crazy. Because I start to wonder, well, am I actually mad about those things? No, I'm not mad about those things. I'm mad about the thing I just told you that I'm mad about. This just happened last night.
Yes.
I came in a little hot to the podcast today, just so you know. Like, this is
I was going to say, I don't know if this is the one we should have started for.
this is a question I get sometimes when I'm on the road. Where
Oh,
people,
you do? Okay.
Because people will ask, like, hey,
Yeah.
like, you. Like,
They
you
say,
and-
when do you
like,
want to
you
declare
and Molly
independence
are-
from your wife?
No.
You get that question?
The
on
ladies
road?
ask me that question all the time.
I
No,
know,
they don't ask
I
me that
know.
question.
Well,
But
maybe.
the
I
question
don't
I
know.
get is like,
Yeah.
because a lot of times, like, this is a format where, like, oh, we seem really
Yeah.
happy and to
Yeah.
love each other all the time we do the
I mean,
podcast.
we do love each other all the
We
time.
do.
But we don't like each other all the time.
No.
No,
and,
we irritate the shit
And I'll
out of
admit,
each
I
other
rolled
a
in this
lot.
morning
Yeah.
not liking you a whole lot
I
because we just had an
know.
argument
I
last night.
know. I
And
know.
you did the thing that I exactly just said, which
Yes.
is like, here's the thing I'm mad about. And then
Yeah.
you said, no, you're mad about this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And I was like,
For the record, we won't get into it, but I'm not going to
it's such,
label.
it's such a Jedi mind trick.
No, it's not. It wasn't.
For me, it is.
Okay.
Because I start to wonder if I'm actually mad about what you're telling me
Yes.
you think I'm mad about.
Yes.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. Don't.
Maybe
Do it.
like 60-40% of
No.
the time?
No. This is
80-20?
Independence Day. Spousal Independence Day.
Okay, what do I get? What do
No,
what
it's
do I want
100% and 0%.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, when you want to
that's where
declare
you live.
independence, because we got to get to some
I know.
he said, she said.
I want to declare independence probably when you've been on the road for a long time and then you come back and you like to tell me all the things that you're annoyed with, like around the house or around things that we got to get on that are stressing you out that you haven't had time to deal with that are on the road, like, because you've been on the road, or any sort of time like you come in hot with like a list and you're like, well, we need to handle this, but there's no we in it. It's we languaging because you're not trying to be so rude. So you throw a we at me like it's somehow like collaborative, but it's not collaborative at all. It's veiled, like mostly you though need to handle X, Y, Z.
I do hate that
A,
you
B,
know that
C,
trick.
D, E. Honey, it's not a trick. You're talking about gaslighting. I was like, there's no trick. There's no we at all. I wish at sometimes
Would it
you
be
would
better
just
if
be like,
I just said, you need to do
yes.
this? No, it wouldn't. That's a lie.
It wouldn't.
That's a lie.
So it would be more honest. It wouldn't be better. It would be what you're actually saying. It wouldn't be veiled kindness of like, oh, I'm going to throw a we in there and then somehow it'll make it better and she won't know that I'm telling her that I'm annoyed at all these things, which I totally do, by the way. So I wish you would just be like, hey, I'm stressed out about this. Would you be able to handle ABC and I will handle XYZ or whatever.
Okay, that's
like
fair.
divide and conquer.
This is actually a thing a lot of
Yes.
spouses deal with
Yeah.
when one spouse travels.
I'm sure.
There's like,
Yeah.
Travis Kershke and I were just talking about
Oh,
this the other day.
really?
'Cause
Okay.
he was talking about like when he was in the league.
Yes.
So Travis
Oh,
played in the
gosh.
NFL for like 13 years.
This guy he coaches with,
He
yeah.
would be
He's a
on the
lovely man.
road and then he would come back.
Yes.
And he said he and his wife had the same conversation that you and I have had where
Yes.
she's just like, he would come back in and be like, all right, here's what we're doing. And
Yes.
she's like, no.
Yeah. Which you and I have talked
You
about.
roll back into our
Yes,
thing.
yes.
You don't come back in and make it
We're
your...
a unit.
and we-
you are the one who is coming and going. You come to us. We don't come to you.
We both talked about how butthurt
Yes,
we were.
I'm sure.
About hearing that.
It's
Doesn't
true,
feel
though.
good.
It's true. Your kids and family are a unit, and your home is a unit. That is stationary. We're doing our thing. We're in our world, and you are the one that comes and goes. So you have to fit into ours. We don't go to you. It's not functional. It doesn't help for anyone. But yes, okay. Anyway, so that's
All right.
that's when I'm declaring independence.
You want to
Great.
play some Independence Day? He said, she
Let's
said.
do it.
Let's get it, Matt. You ready, big dog?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
As always, 4 or 5 questions. He said, she
Okay.
said. Molly and I have not seen these questions.
Oh.
We will be as surprised by them
We
as
will be
you
surprised.
guys are. Honest answers only, friends.
Okay.
First question. If your spouse were a founding father, which one would they be and why?
Oh, easy.
That is really interesting.
If your spouse were a founding father,
Uh-huh.
which one would they be and why?
Oh, I'm having so many thoughts right now.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. Okay.
All right. If your spouse were a founding father, which one would they be and why?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, show.
Oh, yes. I'm George Washington. You're Thomas Jefferson.
No,
Okay.
wait. There's an explanation.
For both, mine too.
Okay, why am I Thomas
Okay,
Jefferson?
Because
I'll take Thomas Jefferson. That's a
yeah,
good one.
he's good.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of a man. He's an everyman. You know, he had
Okay.
a lot of varying interests. He's relatively creative, but he also thought he was the smartest guy in the room of all the founding fathers. He knew he was the smartest, and
He
he
kind
liked
of
to tell
was.
everyone why he was the smartest, and knew the most about everything all the time. That was very Thomas Jefferson. So I feel like that's a good fit.
Okay.
Why am I George Washington?
I am picturing that picture
teeth?
that painting of George Washington crossing the Potomac,
Okay.
and he's standing on the front of the boat with his leg up. That's
Okay.
always where Molly wants to be. She wants to be out front. She wants to be the leader. George
Oh, that's
Washington, I think,
funny.
had a little more humility
Okay.
than
Okay.
because the minute.
Listen, this doesn't have to be a roast.
So
You said you didn't come. You
just
didn't come
said
up with the questions.
thinks
but you
he's
did.
the smartest guy in the room.
I mean,
So
that is Thomas Jefferson, and that is very much you.
The
I
only
mean, you
difference-
both got a lot.
the only
done,
difference
and
between
can
you and George Washington
continue to get a
is
lot
at the
done.
end of the Revolution when they
Oh,
wanted to make
gosh.
George Washington king and he said
Tell the
no.
joke.
Molly would have said, "Hell
Okay.
yeah, I'll be queen of the U.S. I'll be queen of America."
Maybe. Sounds
All
like
right.
a good band name.
All
Queen
right.
of America.
Queen of America?
Anyway, yeah. Okay.
Good.
Good
That
one.
is a good band name.
Okay.
All right.
All right. The next one. If your spouse wrote a Declaration of Independence, what would their first complaint be? Since you've kind of covered this, I don't know if you
We
want to
have.
skip it or redefine this one a little bit.
Oh,
'cause
that's a
a
good
little
question.
bit what.
Maybe bump to the next one, and then we can
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's bump to the next one.
Thank you, though.
The next one is, if your spouse were a firework, what kind would they be?
Oh.
You can maybe draw this one if you want. I don't know how to rate
That's a good
that
one.
down.
That's a
I
good
don't-
one.
I don't-
Okay.
Matt, I don't know if I should do drawings. If
fair
your,
enough.
if your spouse were a firework, which one would they be?
Oh, I can't. I don't. Yeah, the drawing. That's not going to happen. I was thinking about it, and I was like, yeah.
Okay, spouse were a firework. Which one would they be?
Sure. So I just did. Yeah, I'm doing. Yeah, no. I'm. We're going to answer this question differently, and I already
Okay,
know.
3,
So,
2, 1,
Good.
show. Red, white, and blue.
Yeah, you're going to be all the colors. You're very patriotic, and you're like. I was
I
just
am
thinking.
super patriotic.
You are. So like those two where they do like a red and blue back to back, and then like the white sort of like looks like the willow tree.
Yeah.
Those are the ones. Yeah.
Okay.
In that order.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
yeah.
take that.
Okay.
I went cherry bomb for you. Do you remember as a kid when like the cherry
I
bomb?
like that I gave you the giant ones that like are being set off like off the mountains, and you gave me like some sort of weird street one. Some weird street one that like blows up people's feet or something. That's really funny.
Here's why I
Good
said
thing I have a sense of humor.
Here's why I said cherry bomb. Because
Please.
sometimes you remember as a little kid, like you would get cherry bombs and the fuses were all different lengths, and you never knew how fast they were going to go. But you knew there was going to be an explosion at the end. That's Molly. Where it's like you
I'm
light this
doing-
fuse and then you better sprint away as fast as possible because you know it's going to go, but you don't know how long you have.
That's really funny. I am being so nice and honest, and you are using this as just a roast, which thank God I have the confidence that I have. It doesn't really faze me, but it's really good. Okay,
Am I
next
wrong about
question,
cherry
Matt.
bomb? Like that's
I don't know.
That's a pretty accurate descriptor.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. I don't even know what it is. But okay. Yeah.
All right. What's your spouse's weapon of choice in the Revolutionary War?
What's your what is
Wow,
is your
these are really
okay.
in.
What is
Okay.
what is your spouse's weapon of
Weapon of
choice
choice.
in the Revolutionary War? Okay, I got it. What is your spouse's weapon of choice in the Revolutionary War?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, show.
Said hatchet and I said sword.
Yeah.
This is so violent.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Did I spell sword right? I don't know. I think I
Yeah,
did.
you got
okay. A hatchet.
Yeah.
You go ahead and explain this, please.
You're an aggressor. And here's
thing
here's
I'm laughing
you're an
at this.
aggressor, and sounds so stupid. You don't like loud noises.
I don't.
Muskets were really loud.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
Okay.
no, I don't need that musket. It's too loud.
I would
Like,
go deaf.
Yes.
I can't handle it. It's too much.
It's too much. It's too loud.
And there's a kick.
There's
I
been
don't love
there's been
it.
times when we've been
Yeah.
out at the ranch and we've
Yeah.
been shooting,
Yeah.
and you'll go out for like a couple shots and you'll be
Yeah.
like, it's
Two.
too loud. I'm going inside.
It's just,
Yeah.
I too. I have plenty. Also, shooting a gun twice is plenty. I don't add a clay, whatever.
But also,
pigeon. I don't.
Also,
care.
I
Yes.
didn't go like sword or knife.
Okay.
Because it was too mainstream for you.
Okay, hatchet's pretty violent though. You think I'm going to be
I wasn't.
hacking
I wasn't.
someone?
No, I wasn't going with
Oh,
like the
okay.
violence part.
Okay.
I was going with like, what would Molly do that's not loud?
Sure.
But different than
Makes-
the rest.
sure, makes
you know?
more sense, yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
you.
I gave you a sword because you're very physical. And you
Yeah.
like to wield things and like very like physical with your body.
I'd go double swords.
That's double swords. Okay. I mean, I do think sword is appropriate.
Sword is good.
I mean,
Sword is
yeah,
good.
it's an extension of your
I would-
physical, and you'd be able to like
I
move
would go out
and
there with the double
maneuver.
swords and get shot immediately.
No swords, like moving a
My-
bullet out of the way, but it's okay.
My last words would be, I went down looking awesome.
I know, really maneuvering with those swords. All
Okay,
right.
last one.
All right.
All right, last one. These have all required some creative thinking, and that continues with this one.
Okay.
If your spouse were a side dish at a 4th of July barbecue, what would they be?
Wow.
A side dish, not the main.
Not the main. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If your spouse were a
Good thing,
side-
because I couldn't just give you like a plain old hamburger. That would have been way too
No,
obvious.
If your spouse
Okay.
were a side dish at the 4th of July barbecue, what would they be? Okay.
Okay. I got it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, show. Potato salad?
Yeah. I'm mac and cheese?
You're mac and cheese. Here's why.
Okay.
Whenever
Also, do they have mac and cheese at the 4th of July barbecue?
it's rare, but when I see a side mac at a 4th of July barbecue,
Yeah.
I get so excited.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Because
okay.
I love a side mac and cheese.
Okay, but
And
why am I a mac and cheese?
because I get excited when I see you.
Oh, okay.
And I love my side mac and cheese.
Great ending to this whole like
That's
low key roast.
I'm not
4th of July. It's actually
I'm not
okay.
I'm not saying that to
okay.
like dig myself out of a
Okay,
hole.
okay.
That's true.
It sounds like a little bit, but
No.
it's okay.
No.
I'll have good
Also,
faith that
side
it's
mac
true.
at a 4th of July
I
barbecue.
don't know. I've never seen it. When have we seen it?
If you see like a side homemade mac and cheese,
Sure.
With like the
Okay.
breadcrumbs on the top
Sure.
and just like that
Maybe
like
I've seen it. I know what it is. I'm just saying I don't know if I've seen it on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
But sure.
Okay.
I just thought your potato salad, you're like a little spicy, a little mustardy, a little zingy, a lot of flavor in there. There's a lot going on, and always a hit.
Yeah.
That's why I think that.
And
yeah.
if I'm out too
Yeah.
long, I'm gonna make you super sick.
Gross. That's disgusting. And great. And appropriate.
And if you leave me out in the sun too long, I'm gonna make everyone around
Don't
me
eat
miserable.
That mayo. Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well, good one. All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Yay.
Great. Matt,
Have a
did
safe
we-
and
did
happy
we-
4th of July,
Did
everybody.
we hit them all?
I hope we did. That was it? Okay.
All right, great. Molly, you want to hit us any recaps, any final thoughts before we shut it down?
I think it's really nice and honest to kind of call out when you sometimes just need a timeout from your stuff.
Yeah.
And that's just normal.
Yeah.
I just think it's okay. So I just want to give people to be like, hey, you have permission.
Yeah.
Take some time.
Declare some
Take a
short-term
day.
independence.
Yeah. Take
from
a mental
your spouse,
health day.
your kids, your job.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you
Sure.
what, like if you're not taking time,
Totally appropriate. Mm-hmm.
If you're not taking little chunks of time to step away from your spouse, your
Yeah.
kids, and your job,
Yes.
all you're doing is just piling resentment on resentment and
Yes.
resentment.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to build up, and then you're
Yeah.
going to declare some permanent
Yes.
independence
Yeah.
from those
Real
things.
fireworks.
Uh,
Yeah. Thanks. Just
Great
looping
ending.
back there.
That'll do it for this week's episode of Teaching Keating. As always, you can find us anywhere you get your podcasts. Find us on YouTube. Hit like, hit subscribe. You can find me at ISTE.
Yeah.
Actually, by the time this airs, ISTE will already be done.
Okay.
You could have found me in San
ISTE.
Antonio
Yeah.
at ISTE. You can find me in the first week of July in, I believe, Missouri.
We're really working hard to remember. Good.
I know. Yeah.
it's
Molly, where
okay.
can we find you?
Oh, you're going to find me in Utah, Salt Lake City, because our
know.
daughter is going to be there doing a summer intensive. So that's where I'll be headed.
All
yeah,
right.
it's great.
Enjoy
Very
Utah.
exciting.
Good
I
luck
know.
finding a cocktail.
Okay.
We'll catch you guys on next week's episode. Be well.